Well, I'm live. I came on a little bit early to get my cameras all set up so I could see if you could see everything, and you can. So I'm just sitting here waiting for questions. Hi, Faye. Just waiting on questions. Gonna play with the garden. Gonna look at some cards. Michelle, come to join us too. Yay! I was shocked yesterday when I went live without any notice, and um, I ended up having 14 of you by the time I cut off. Hi. It's, I'm sorry, Kevin, I'm not having a wonderful day. I'm doing this live, and then I'm going back, and I was on the phone with a distance healer I work with. I woke up with a pounding headache, and I never get headaches, so I kind of really don't know what to do. Michelle, your board should come today. If you've already ordered it, they all got mailed out of Austin Thursday. So I don't know how long it takes for things to get where they're supposed to go. I know that I sent out, when I was mailing out prototypes to people to just check them, I sent one to Sheila at Celtic Tarot, and I sent it by priority mail, and it kept saying it was out there, and she didn't get it. And finally, it was way past the time it should gotten there, and they couldn't tell me where it was. So I mailed her another one, and I just sent it first class. And I just said, okay, I'm sending this first class. They both got there the same day. I'll feel better, Kevin. I've been working so hard on so many things, and now a lot of things are sort of getting settled, and the dust is clearing, and I think my body's trying to relax, and it's not sure how to do it. So I'm working on it. Can everybody hear me okay? Because I had someone who wrote me and said um, that they couldn't hear me as clearly. I was on live with Andrea, and people said when we were doing 3, 4, and 5D, they said my speech faded in and out. So I've moved the microphone up closer and turned the volume up. So I hope everybody can hear. Anybody have a question? No? I should have brought some. Um, Other stuff I've got coming up. Next week I'm going to be doing a collaborative show. Okay, good. She can hear me, and she's in Puerto Rico, so I know if she can hear me, y'all for sure can. Uh, I'm meeting tomorrow on Zoom with the fabricator for the eggs. He had trouble getting an egg mold made. He's brought in a different person. They're going to try again, and he thinks he's found the right acrylic, but it's just a matter of getting the mold. And that's, you now know as much as I know, but he's working on it consistently. This is not his day job. He's a technical scientist. In his day job, he does creative things on the side. So he's been working on it on the weekends. But his wife's the jeweler, and she's the one who's going to be setting the stones into the eggs. And I know I've talked to some companies that they could probably maybe do it faster, but I don't want to create an egg without being sure that the stones are exactly right and where I want them to be. And this couple, I think, has the combined skills to bring it. I'm taking personal questions. I mean, depending on how personal. Kathy G can't hear me at all? At all? Not even a little bit? Okay, move it up closer. I move the microphone. That's short of sitting with it up my mouth. That's the best I can do. Let's see. I just looked at my volume control. It says it's okay. Okay. Does anybody have a question? Somebody asked if I do personal questions. I can do them about, and you can decide whether you want like a big reading, all 5 stones, or if you just want me to pull one and toss it and do one-on-one. It's called One and Done reading. Okay. Some people are telling me they can hear me. I've got 11 of you on the line. Okay, I'm going to do... are any of you where the hurricane has hit? Okay, Michelle can hear me. Good. Let's see. People have talked a lot about storms coming in this summer, so I'm going to do a reading on if the storms are going to get worse. I mean, if there's a one really bad one out there, one of the ones that gets named and you always remember its name. So we're going to do a thing about hurricanes. Oh dear. Everybody fell in one place. All in the elements, which kind of makes sense. Spirit is air. So we've got spirit is in air, and I've got pyrite that's in air and earth. 4 of them ended up being in earth one way or another. The body ended up kind of being in all of them. The mind is in fire and earth. So the spirit says, spirit's transforming our thinking, and pyrite is... mental actions are part of the abundance. I think this is saying to be ready for it. Okay, and then the other one, the body being right in the middle of all those, the body is saying, ground your thoughts, embody your past. Physical dangers are coming, and to ground yourself and be prepared. And the mind is between fire and earth, and it's saying, do not become tied to false theories, but to be careful, to be very mindful of the situation that's coming. Okay, let's see. I've got one person who wants crystal jewelry show next week at my sister's. How will I do? I'm a bit nervous. And then after that, I'm going to add. Someone asked about starting their YouTube channel. So we're going to look. We're going to look at your sister at the jewelry show with your sister. Okay. Wants me to restate it, and it really hit heavy there. So my mind was scattered. I was thinking about 2 people at once, and I can't do that. Okay. Your clarity is coming from the past. You've done shows before. I think you have the skills and the ability to know what you really need to do. Your body, sometimes they haven't worked, and it shows that they're going to work really well. You've got spirit and mind in the future. That bodes very well for that. It says spirit. I'm still using my cheat sheets. Okay. It says to be patient, that you're learning very well, and your mind says that this situation, if you plan ahead, it's going to work out really, really well. I see money coming towards you, though. This is in the West, and the money is the pyrite. The values are there, and they are in water, and it says to really be grounded when you're thinking about going into that show, that you know how to plan for it, but don't let your own insecurities blind you, which is things that have happened in the past are sort of setting you up. Okay. Diane Lipko, I don't do mediumistic readings, so I can't help you with your husband, although my overall feeling would be that he's fine, and I do have a deck that I do mediumistic readings with. I've just never tried them in the garden, and I wouldn't want to mislead you. So we had someone asking about starting their YouTube channel, and how's it going to go? Well, right now, the planning you're doing right now is really, really good for it. You are an old soul. You've got a lot to share and give to people. You have your... if you've tried to do readings before and it didn't work out, don't get tied to that thought. You've got your body is here, and it says you're an old soul, and you've got spirit in this area, and the South is really our ancestors and our roots. And so you're really pulling from some past life stuff, getting this going. You're going to do fine, especially with the values that you're putting into it right now. Clarity will come to you as you move along. You're going to get really clear on exactly how to focus this channel. That's your clarity stone. It's in water. Water is mutation. Water is also things moving forward. And it says you have the clarity you need. Follow one of the many paths that present themselves to you, and you will know within the situation which path to choose. And that sounds like a Chinese fortune cookie. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. Actually, for Diane, the lady who asked about her husband, I do have a deck, and it's actually right here because I had somebody else ask me for. These are the books. These are the cards Talking to Heaven, James von Prague, and it's a wonderful deck. And I'm going to pull a card for the lady who wanted to know about her husband. Oh, he says his death was painless, and please don't have any guilt feelings, or don't worry or try to hold on to guilt. That he's in a good space. That when you get that card, that means he's in a really good space. He's adjusting to the other side. So if you don't feel him around you all the time, that may be why. I think whatever they did. He's been there 6 years. I was reading 6 months. Yeah, you can call on him and talk to him. He felt like you did everything you could. You worked with the doctors. You did all the stuff you could. That they managed to make it relatively painless. There's no way that kind of can't. It's painful no matter what with the separation and everything else. But he's in a good space, so he wants you to be in a good one too. New moon in Cancer. New moon in Cancer. This one's really powerful because it's coming right after the eclipses, and we're going into another eclipse. We're going to have a solar eclipse at the end of the month. I've been listening to some astrologers that I trust, but I'll throw the stones on new moon in Cancer. But they're saying it's a time when we're all going to feel like we really need to settle down and get calm. But we're going to... Okay. One of my stones falling apart. It says that our clarity is going to... That we're rounding out to a point where more enlightenment's coming into people. It is sort of a set of planets that are out there right now with Saturn squaring Uranus. And I'm following that one very closely because Uranus is sitting on top of my natal sun, which means Saturn is squaring me. And I think some days I feel that more than others. What it says is that we're gonna get our okay. It says that when we embody our past and when we embody the best parts of our past, that our mind is getting us into a place where we can go for it and we can move forward. But mind is in go for it. And if in go for it, when the mind's there, it says your thoughts are leading the way. And this says spirit and values are in the future, and they're also involved with thoughts. I think the path forward for us out of this Cancer moon, there's two ways you can go. You can go home, hunker down, and kind of hide out and say, okay, I'm home, I'm done. Or you can go out and be part of the world. And I think to look for the chances we have to move ourselves forward and to think in terms of positive thoughts. I've been a little appalled at the press recently. Not that I don't watch Fox News because then I'd be sick to my stomach. But they're being really negative, and I used to work in politics, and there's just periods of time when you can get a lot done, and summer is not one of them. It's kind of like the rest of us. People kind of go somewhat on vacation. And there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I can really feel that there's a lot of things happening in the background. And like somebody, I was talking with Andrea about it, and she read about it on her show. Uh, get your popcorn ready because this fall is going to be a wild ride. The stuff that's going to come out is going to be really, really freaky. And I lived through Watergate, and I actually kind of have a memory of seeing the McCarthy hearings on the TV. But I was a wee wonka. I was little, like I was 3 or 4. Um, I've seen all those things, and I got a feeling this is going to be even crazier. Okay. Lena wants to know about her finances. Okay. Let's see if the situation around Lena's finances. Okay. Oh, yeah, your mind's in the right space. With this new business you've started, your mind's in your solar plexus, and that's where we get everything going. There's the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and then the solar plexus is where the energy gets really going in our body. And you need to rethink some of the things you're working on, though, because you need a little more clarity on them. But the business you've gone back into, that you are going into, is straight out of what you were sort of born to do. It's you innately feel really strongly about it, and it's going to turn out really well because you've got money coming towards you. You've got the pyrite with the money coming towards you. So I hope that is true because those are very positive stones for you. Okay, let's see about somebody's thinking about taking a course. Let's see the situation with you and hypnotherapy. Oh, you've done this before. This is a past life thing. That's why you're so drawn to it. And yeah, and you're almost channeling from your past to know how to get into this. And your spirit's in the ancestral realm. So it's your mind, it's a way forward for your mind to connect to this earth and to work very well. And you ended up with the body in the crown, the tree of life, true, and the future. That's like tree of life is where all of the chakras kind of, in my way of looking at it. When you've got the body in the tree of life, it says you're seeking harmony with your physical form, and the crown, mean light force of life needs are guiding you in the correct direction, and you have future. It will appear for you in the future. So and it's true. True is true. I mean, and true when it's the body is that's my big yes spot. If I had a YES on the board, it would be that one. When it's with the body, it's definitely that one. That's a great idea for you, Karen. It'll work out really well. Kevin. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. I found since I don't, as a rule, I don't do mediumistic things, and I don't do them for a reason. One of the first real interactions I had with the other side was a spirit that wanted to harm me, and I kind of said, I don't want to talk to those folks. If they're dead, I want them dead. But I found his books a really good way. His cards are a really good way. Good. I'm glad somebody's talking about they did the new moon ritual of writing down all their intentions and burning them. I don't burn mine. I keep them in a book, and I go back and look, and I can see what's happened with them. I understand I don't go back and look at them like every day. It's not like a mantra. It's not like I get crazy about it. Good, Lena. I hope that does help you. Yeah, they're actually. Kevin's asking what happened was I had a lot of people saying they want to learn how to work with crystals, and I was trying to figure out a way so that they could work with crystals and learn them. And one morning I woke up and it said, you need to put them in your garden. And I was like, my garden was, at this point I had my YouTube channel. And it was actually a total coincidence. This thing ended up being called the Oracle Garden. That's what I channeled through. And I started writing that morning. And it basically said this existed a long time ago. You have to go find out about it. I did a little research, and I worked with my artist, and we found that there'd been a game developed sort of like the same time as Ouija boards, and people had used crystals, and then it had just faded away. And there are some readers who do, it's called lithomancy. There are some readers who use crystals, but they never put it in a form. And what I was told was I needed to create this to give us a new divination tool that's part of the new age and the new era of teaching, training us to work with the ground and to work with our thoughts. So that's where it came from. And that's why you probably haven't seen a whole lot of people doing it, because it's, but you can, if you want your own oracle board, it's like getting your own tarot deck. You can go to www.crystaldirections.com, go in the store, and see it there. And then there was the lady who, my moon is in Cancer, so's mine, Helene. You're an Aquarius, Sun, Libra rising, okay. Well, I finally moved this year. Okay, let's see. Let's see if the situation around Helen moving within the year. Everybody wants to stay together. That means that these are very basic, fundamental questions for you. Your mind, you're having a little difficulty letting go of the past, and quite honestly, physically, the thought of moving is what tires you out. But I see new prosperity coming towards you. If you look for the place, you'll find the right place. But your spirit, and I think that's the most important element in this kind of a move, is locked between earth and air. And the spirit, your spirit's getting there. It's not there yet. And the other part of it is air. Okay, yeah, this says spirit's totally transforming your thinking. So your spirit's just not quite there yet, but clarity will come to you in the future, because this is future thinking and future thoughts. So I'd say it'll be probably the end of the year, maybe right around your birthday. It'll be even more than a year. Thank you, Iwa. I'm glad you liked the grid. It came out beautiful. Oh, you just write your intention statement, and we're going into my grids now. You just write your intention statements, and you put it underneath your grid or near your grid, or you can tape it to the back of your grid if you want, where you have the list of all the stones. And because you can change the intentions of what a grid's there to fire up for. Okay, Michelle, there's a couple places. I use a program called Astromatrix. It's on my phone, and I like it because when I hear someone talk about a date, a time, or whatever, and they'll say, if your moon's in this place, watch out for this, or this is coming towards you. Let's see if I can get to the app. It's an app I like. I think it's very readable. They've added a whole lot of extra features recently. Anyway, when you dial your thing up, it looks like this. And and this is set to my birth chart, and it does birth reports. Do you know what time you were born? And that's really important, because that sets your ascendant. If you don't know what time you were born, you can still do a chart without an ascendant, but it won't, because the moon moves pretty quickly, and that your moon could be in one sign or the next, depending on what time of day you were born. But if you read the descriptions of the characteristics of how your emotions run, which is what the moon's about, and how you feel, you can pretty much figure out where it is. And if you really, really, really want an accurate chart and you're missing sort of pertinent information like the time you were born, there's a thing called rectification, and you can go to an astrologer, and they can take your basic birth information, and then they can start looking at major events in your life, and they can figure out where your ascendant is. The woman who trained me in astrology, which I do not do, I know just enough astrology to be dangerous, but Helen could do that for people. And I had a friend who was adopted. She never knew her birth time, and Helen sat down with her, and that woman's still using the chart Helen drew for her 25, 30 years ago, and it's still cranking away and working. Okay, let's see when Warrior Girl's going to move. Okay, you're going to find the place this fall, but chances are that you're not going to, you're going to move and then move again, because this is spring and this is fall. So I think where you want to move, you're going to find in the fall. I think you're going to figure it out, because the first place you pick, your spirit's in false. It's not going to be a good fit, but then you're going to find the place that is the right fit for you. So I'd say you're going to be finding it this fall or getting it rectified this fall. Then this is winter, and then this part of the quadrant of the garden is spring. You have more stones over in spring, but you really have this on your mind, and it has a lot to do with your own values and values you want to have. So, Warrior Girl, I would say start looking now, because it's going to take a while to get the deal together. Good. Helene, I think that's what you need to do. You need to let go. There were some stones in your reading that said you're having a little trouble letting go and seeing yourself in a new place. And you have to really clearly see yourself in a new place to be able to get there. Okay, Angelita, let's see if I see you moving in the next 2 years. Yeah, you're kind of tied to where you are, but your spirit is somewhat tied to where you are right now, but you've got clarity in air. So let's see what it's, that's the one I think is the outlier. Yeah. You want to move. I mean, there's things you're thinking about moving that looks great, but you're going to, it's just going to take a little more planning than you thought, because you haven't caught, your intuition hasn't told you that it's completely true yet. We're going to throw your spirit and see if I can see a time when your spirit will be clear on this. Yeah, by next spring, you're going to have the clarity, because this was halfway into spring. Your spirit is going to be spot on about, I'm moving forward, where am I going? Your intuitions and all your things will be pulled together by then. So, that's for you, dear. 49 years, that's very good. Okay. Let's see what the situation is between Rebecca and her sister. Sounds like members of my family, but... Ooh, okay. Is this about an inheritance that she thinks you got more than you got more than she did? Because the clarity is going to come out of the sacral chakra. I think this is really upset you, because it's attacked sort of your root system that you came out of. Your mind, since the question is when's she going to go away, you've got your mind still is somewhat tied. It's really tied to some false energy in the past, but you've got the water here too. So part of it is that you worry about it. You need to just let her go. Just really let her go. And you have a psychic connection with her. Body. And third eye. You need to do some third eye meditations. Go look at those and clear it out, and if you don't know this trick, you might want to try this. Because what I show is in the fall, more than likely she's going to give up. But what you need to do is, there's a meditation you can do. You just get all calm and relaxed, get calm in a chair, and then you call in the Archangel Michael. And he doesn't care if you're not a Christian or you don't know jack about angels. He's there for everybody. He's a universal force. You call Archangel Michael in, and you ask him to take his sword and cut all unnecessary connections to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back, above and below. And then you sit there, and if you're really good at visioning things, you'll kind of almost feel that sword going around you, and he will actually cut power cords. Your sister's connected to you psychically. And I don't think she does it because she's mean or evil. She does it because she's your sister. And yeah, she's having a lot of problem with a guilty conscience if what you tell me there is true, and I have no reason to believe it isn't. You just need to cut the cord and let her go live. When she gets cut off from you, if there's some reason she really wants to hold on to you, you just need to cut it off and tell her to go. Marilyn wants to know. You ought to introduce Marlene ought to be introduced to Rebecca's sister because Marlene's sister isn't calling her. Okay. Why is your sister? What's the situation around your sister and calling you? Oh, she's dug something up in the back of her brain, and she's putting a lot of credence in it. She's thinking that's the truth. She's going to come out of it. You're going to hear from her later. But right now, her whole value system, she's nurturing a whole lot of stuff from when you guys were growing up together. And let's see, fire, pyrite. Yeah, she's dealing with a lot of stuff in her past, and it's not you, it's her. So if you just kind of let it go and let her stew around in it, she's working out some stuff from her past, some of which is she's embodying it. It's false. It's in earth. It means it's rising up and it's going to move across and change. I think you might hear from her this fall. I'm going to do one on the mind and see. Yeah. When summer's transitioning into fall, I would say, I don't see dates often, but September 18th, is that like a family birthday or something? She'll call you around September 18th. And I don't ever see numbers. So you got to let me know if that happens because, oh, okay. I'm glad that, it's hot in Arizona. It's beautiful in Texas. It's like 70 in the mornings and it's barely getting into the 90s. And trust me, for Texas, that's like winter. Oh, someone wants to see the situation around their son in dorm living. I hope he does better than my son did. He got the world's worst roommate, and they almost got him kicked out of school, but we're going to see. Okay, I'm wiping away what Patrick's experience was, and we're going to look at your son's. Okay. Well, nothing's clear about this. Clarity fell completely off the board. Actually, it came out with, he's going to have to learn to speak up for himself. And I sense that's not his top thing to do. He's a little hesitant about making this move and going away, but he's going to do really well there. He's going to find his frequency family, the people that he ties together with. He's very, very smart. His mind is in air, which is thoughts. And when your mind is in air, thoughts are all important. I just think he's going to have to learn to speak up for himself. But if you were raised by different mothers, all I can tell you, Marlene, is she's looking at something from her perspective. Oh, okay, if that's around her birthday. Oh, Kathy G., you have my sympathies. 112. That's what we expect here this time of year, and we're not getting it. When it finally gets hot, I'm really not going to like it because my air conditioner's not working so good in my car. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Okay. Oh, my son is out of school. He's grown up. He's got a 6-figure job. He's wonderful. He was raised with adults. His dad was 59 when he was born, and I was 42, and so he never was around lots of kids all that much. And we homeschooled him because he could read when he was 3. So when he went to college, it's the first time he was totally locked up with people of his own age, which was part of the problem. Oh, somebody wants to know what's the deal around somebody's son not moving out? Okay. Yeah, he's way back here. Um, he thinks you owe it to him to take care of him. I don't know how old he is, but I think he's wrong. I see things are shifting in his life where he's going to want to get out on his own more. You just don't you make home way too comfortable for him, Kathy. And you do it because you want to have a comfortable home, but his attitude is you owe it to him. And from your perspective, you need to learn life's lessons. And if you've had trouble having other people leave you alone, then you need to work on that. I'm sorry, my throat's getting tied up here. Oh, he's got some omens coming towards him, and he discounts things that say it's time to move on. And his spirit and his mind are in Earth primarily. It's coming to a solution. This stone tells me it's coming to a solution. And this one says, Spirit's transforming him, but he's not quite ready to go yet. No, he got his body. And his body is between earth and air. Yeah, something's changing in his world that's going to make him want to get out and be more on his own. And you just need to ground that in your thoughts of him being gone, if that's what you want. Okay. Yeah, Ronnie, he needs to advocate for himself. Someone wants to know if they will ever recover your health. Okay. I have to restate it. Yes, you will. You're just beginning to learn from some people how to move forward. Your values are that you want to get better, so you're not holding yourself back. Your body just needs to get in touch with your thinking, and clarity's coming at you. You have the clarity you need. Follow the path that your intuition feels strongest about. And is this a family illness? Because the spirit being back here, it could mean it's a family illness, but you can recover your health. This shows you're definitely shifting. This shows the fall and the winter are going to be really important for you feeling better. Okay. 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 Let's see. Health. Yeah, I can't do much about the weather, guys. I'm not a weatherman or a weather woman or a weather girl or a weather anything. And I think all of us can send some good thoughts about health for all of us. But if you're working at it and trying to get better. Okay. Anybody else have questions? Because I work better with questions. Otherwise, you just get to sit and listen to me patter away. I was going to do this for about 45 minutes. Oh, dancing. Okay. Well, I can tell you somewhat. It's with the spirit being in fire. It's a family thing and I know it's really hard on adoptees because so many things they can work with you now on if they know it's coming. Okay. See if Sandra's going to move. Situation around Sandra moving. Yeah, falling in the middle again, man. Yeah, you're going to get clear about it. Your mind is getting much more set and understanding it. The problem your body's having, it's going to be okay with you and your siblings, and there's money. Your house is going to sell pretty well. It's going to sell really well. But I see it's going to be a fall-winter project to get this together. And do you see his pay for a new house? So I'd say that looks good for you, Sandra. It's kind of whatever you choose to do. Your spirit, though, is feeling a need to draw back and go back to be with family again. Okay. Okay. We're going to ask if Letitia is going to see, what's the situation about Letitia finding the money for a new house? Okay, you're having some, your sacral chakra has the money, and that's what I would look for in this one. And it says your ability to manifest in what you're going to need is spot on right now. And where am I put you back here? Part of my amethyst. I see you. Your spirit's somewhat tied to the past about this. There's a lot of things about moving. It's not, you could manifest the money in right now. It's just as your body and your heart and your soul in moving right now. And that's kind of the reading I got. I think you'll know by the end of summer which way you want to go. Okay. Julie P. We're going to do one on done. We're going to do values. We're going to roll one on living in Santa Fe. Here. Okay. What this says to me, Julie, is whether it's Santa Fe or anyone else, it's where you put your mind in and where you invest yourself. That's what works. So, it says you can decide that Santa Fe is the best place for you, or you could, if you want to move somewhere else, wherever your mind tells you, wherever your values tell you to go. And it's all in your thought patterns. Okay. Okay. Let's see about your granddaughter's career. Wait a minute, I missed one in the middle. Okay. We're going to do a spirit on Dancing Oracle's soulmate. You've met your soulmate at one point or another. But there's always more than one. It's not showing. It's not showing one coming like right away. But you've met them before, so you know how to recognize them, and that's half the game. Let's do the situation of the soldier granddaughter. Oh yeah, she's gonna love it. The army is where her spirit is. She's been a soldier in a lot of past lives. She's got the mental ability to be there. She's open to radiant guidance when she's there, and her actions are guided by her spirit. And so right now, where she is currently, she's moving to some places. She's got her values are going to take a little more reshaping, but right in the middle of all, this is a balanced place for her. She got clarity. It landed literally where it's on each one of those, which is really rare. And at least for all the times I've tossed them, but that's just wonderful for her. It says, be sure your thoughts are clear. Use the ideas you carry from your past and present into this situation, which is why I think she's been a soldier before. You have many paths ahead of you. You will always pick the correct one, and you have the clarity you need. Follow all of your life paths. So she's right where she needs to be. Let's see. Okay, let's see. The situation around Kat's daughter's house. Okay, situation around where she's living. Oh, she's got her eye on something and she should go for it. She's built up the money she needs. She's really clear thinking about what she wants to do. Her spirit's in the right place to move forward, and her body, the only thing that's holding her back is there are some things about the house she lives in that she's attached to. It's more of an emotional attachment. But she's going to find a new home. She's going to, and it's go for it. She'll see it. Once she sees it, that's it. She's done. And Shannon and a new job. See, the situation around Shannon's employment. She's not aware of where the job is yet. So if she's been looking at something, that's probably not going to come through. She got kind of an interesting... a final solution's coming for this. Her body is ready to move. I think she wants to use her mind more. I don't know what she's doing for a job, but she wants one where she uses her mind more. But she's kind of... She's already transformed. She just now has to figure out where to take the new Sharon and how to get there. But there's a part of her value system that's kind of afraid of moving forward. And she's going to move forward because she's already transformed. So, and she just needs to decide that what she's done in the past is done and she can move forward. Okay, let's see where we go. Okay, I'm going to see my mom. These are my brother and my family trying to contact me. It's travels. I'm going to do this as a one and done because I think... No, they're thinking about it. Something happened though that more is going to come forward towards you, but it's not going to be till maybe in the fall or winter. That's when they'll try to get in touch with you again. Small farm would be lovely, Marlene. Okay, let's see. Clarity. We're going to get some clarity for Vivian about working with stones and crystals. Definitely, because you've got clarity and air. And, you know, when you're sure, when your thoughts are clear, you know what you need to do. And water. And it's going to be presented to you in a couple of different paths, so move with the one that you feel the safest with, the most secure about. And Julie P. Okay, guys, it's almost at 50 minutes. I'm going to pull one little flower from our garden as our thought for the day. And then I'm going to start doing live readings with the garden during the week, and I'm going to try to figure out the best time to do it. It'll probably be on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, because those are the days I read anyway when I'm doing private readings. If you don't know about that, you can go to my website, www.crystaldirections.com, and it lists all the services that I provide. I do 3-month readings, past life readings and like that sort of thing. So it lists the kinds of readings I do there. I do garden readings there, and you can find all about it. You can actually order the reading there. But anyway, let's see. We got the nasturtium, which I always thought was a wild name for a flower. I actually think this stone that someone sent me, they hand painted, I think it's a nasturtium, because it looks a whole lot like that plant. Anyway, nasturtium means grounding. The beginning, look at where you are, that's the beginnings of where you need to move from. So look at how you're grounding, and this is a great time to be grounding because of the new moon. And see, reading for you guys, that made my headache kind of go away. So you were good luck for me today. And y'all take care, and I will see you during the week. Watch out, I'll post. I'm going to be doing something with Danny about the Schumann resonance and intergalactic energy, not aliens, like particle energy and how it affects us. And there's some really interesting studies that have been done. I'll let you watch it, but sort of a teaser is in 2018, our whole solar system rolled out of a part in our galaxy where we'd had a cloud of protective energies that blocked neutrinos and some other smaller particles from coming in. And so it was really hard to find them when I was a kid, and physicists were trying to find them because not many of them got through the cloud that was around us. Well, in 2018, we moved out of that cloud. Now we're in a different part of space where energetic waves are coming and affecting us. And actually, you can see it in stones. It happens every 1,400 years and 14,000 years. And so geologists have been looking like what happened during this time. Then they realized it was like a clock. And that's what we're in right now. So it's going to be an interesting discussion, and I'm sure we'll clarify it for you completely. Thank you all